Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel, and welcome back to another episode in the Kansas City Royals rebuild here on MLB The Show 23. And we've got a good one. We got a real good one today. We are in the month of July, and you know what that means. That means MLB Draft, All-Star festivities, and trade deadline all in today's episode. So if you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get started, baby, because we are one day away from the MLB Draft, and there are some very interesting prospects in this little scouting thing, this little pool of players. So I'm going to simulate to the draft. We actually beat the Blue Jays, which is fun. But it's time to go drafting. We are picking, I think, 6th. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. It doesn't look like we have any all-star starters as well. I do want to do a little quick check to see if we have anybody that's going to make the team. Doesn't look like we have any starters. Doesn't look like we have... Ooh, Stalmet probably not going to make it, but we'll check to see the official rosters. Closing pitchers, no, Camillo's not around there. Salvador is 3rd right now in catchers. First base, Pasquantino's probably not going to make it, which sucks because he was an all-star last year. Second base, we're not going to have anybody. Third base, doesn't look like Bobby Witt's going to make it, or not Bobby Witt, Nate Eaton. Bobby Witt is a shortstop, and he's not going to make it either. Left field, we're not going to have anybody. Center field... Unfortunately, no. Again, Lorenzo Cain, funny enough, is right up there at 62 overall. He's in the conversations, but he's not going to make it. And then our right field, Teoscar's probably not going to make it. So we could have Josh Stalmet. We could have Salvador Perez. But those are really the only ones that we're probably going to have in All-Stars this year. But that's not the problem. That's not the issue. Sim to the draft. Yes, sir. Let's get drafting, baby. Go to the 2024 MLB Draft. And remember, there are some very interesting prospects in this class. We pick at number 6 in the draft this year. And I want to add Quintana to the board, Kirby Lawrence, Luis Negron, Lewis Hughes, James Lynn, Romeo Pineda, all these guys that we draft or that we scouted fully. I got to get all of them added. I know I could just do this to the thingy-mabob. Just use the scouted thing, but I want to have them on my board. Yeah, I think that these guys are pretty darn interesting. So let's go and make sure that those are all the guys that I wanted to. And I obviously didn't scout any closing pitchers because I don't really think we need to take a closing pitcher in this one, but maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll find out how the chips all fall. Right now, I don't know who our number 1 guy would be. If we went to the top prospects by, can we sort by? Oh, we can only sort by team rank. It looks like I was hoping to sort by top prospects by actual rank, but I guess that we just do that by going to all. So Sean Haywood's probably going to go top 3, top 2, maybe even number 1. Then we could also see who's the number 2 potential pick. I don't even know who the number 2. It's probably another closing pitcher. Kirby Lawrence is projected to go 3, so we're probably not going to get Kirby, unfortunately. It is not a closing pitcher. Is it a catcher or anything? No. First base. There's got to be a number 2 player ranked here, isn't there? Shortstops, left field, center fielders. I'm not seeing anybody. This is crazy. And then right field, and then all. Huh, whatever. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see where the draft kind of unfolds. But I think it's time to go to the draft and see what happens here. Number 1 pick in the draft this year is going to be because of the Reds. The Reds have number 1 pick. Congratulations to them. And they're probably going to draft that closing pitcher. That's what I would guess. So the first pick in the Major League Baseball amateur draft is not the closing pitcher. Is it Kirby Lawrence? That looks like Kirby. It is Kirby Lawrence, our ranked 4. He was draft ranked number 3 by the Major League Baseball system. And he's a starting pitcher going to Cincinnati he looked to be pretty good. I was enticed about Kirby Lawrence. Hopefully, I was hoping he might have fallen to us, but he goes number 1. The Nationals are up next, and they take, who is that? I didn't see the back of his jersey. It's Lewis Hughes, the first baseman. We had him ranked number 7. He didn't entice me too much, but he looked very good. His potential was a little bit low for my liking, especially for this high in the draft. Number 3 pick is by the A's. Who did the A's take? The Oakland Athletics have selected Luis Negron with the 3rd pick, another starting pitcher. We had him ranked 6th. They had him ranked 10. He's got that 79 to 93 potential. Maybe he'll turn out to be something for him. You never know. Pirates are on the clock next at number 4, then the Rockies, and then us. So right now, our board is looking pretty unfazed other than Kirby Lawrence. That was really the guy that I wanted to take. Robert Drew is off the board. He was ranked number 2 in the class. He's only 88 potential is his highest. We scouted him. We took a look at him, but he didn't look too enticing. And then Jeremy Loftus. Okay, we didn't really take a look at Jeremy Loftus, but he could be good. You never know. And now it's up to us. So we've got the pick of the litter. We could take the best overall player in the class, which is Sean Haywood, but he is a closing pitcher. That is the only problem. And we didn't scout him at all. So he could be good, or he could not be good. I don't know. Maybe we should have scouted him. I just thought he would go pretty soon. But then we have Greg Quintana, who has 76 to 98 potential, looks really good in the future for his contact, for his vision, for his speed, his reaction time. He looks like a really, really good player. Bats left, throws left. But if we go to our scouted list, we also have James Lynn. I don't think I want to take James Lynn, even though he does have really, really good power. Even right now, he could have really good power. But I don't think I want to take James Lynn right now because I don't really know where I want to go with this. I mean, Ryan Granger, I forgot how good defensively he looked. Charlie Thornton also looks good defensively with really good contact. He's one of those contact hitters as well. Then you got Alex Cabrera, really good power guy. I don't really know where to go with this. I think Quintana is the obvious choice. I think we need to stop making stupid decisions and take Greg Quintana. He could be our center fielder of the future. Now, I know that I'm not fully scouted on him, but I think we have enough to know that he is going to be the guy for us. 76 to 98 potential. He's already got a 61 to 83 overall. We had him ranked 3. The Royals or the MLB had him ranked 12. And I think he could be the future of this team. Now, I'm curious to see where the rest of these guys kind of go, because there are some sneaky good players that we have scouted that aren't ranked by Major League Baseball. So we might be able to snag some pretty good ones in the later rounds. We even have a competitive balance round A pick. So we could snag some pretty good players in this draft that aren't ranked by Major League Baseball if we get lucky here. So Keith Dell goes right after us to the Tigers. We didn't have him scouted at all, and neither did we didn't have Shinji Suzuki. All right, and then Theodore Valencia. So right now, a lot of our board is pretty much on the table right now. Patrick Raines goes. It seems like they're taking guys that we didn't even have on our radar. I didn't even have any of these guys on the radar, and that's the top 10 for you. I kind of want to skip to my next pick, but I also want to see if they go. But I'll sim to the next Royals pick. We'll see what happens here. So who went off the board? If we go to our prospects, a lot of guys actually went off the board that I had on my thing. So we lost out on James Lim, who I did really want to take because of that power, but I figured he wouldn't make it. Who else got taken? Benny Canning. Benny Canning got taken? I thought Benny Canning was going to be there, man. That's upset. That's really upsetting. Pablo Velez also looks really good. He got taken. Ryan Granger got taken. Alex Cabrera got taken. All the power bats are leaving our board. It's kind of upsetting. This guy, Frank Sierra, wasn't even ranked, and he got taken top first round, I should say. And then everybody else here, we didn't have any taken. But Sean Haywood got picked up by the Guardians in the 31st pick. So now we sit here at competitive balance round A with a few guys on the board. We have Romeo Pineda, but we don't know a ton about him. We didn't get all of our scouting done. I think he was towards the end of the time where I was going to scout. We do know fully on what Charlie Thornton is. We know about him. He's not ranked None of these guys are ranked, but that doesn't mean, I guess, that they can't get taken. And then Roger Davila also looks pretty good. I don't think Pineda's true potential is going to be capped at 97. I think he could be a little worse than that. His numbers are probably going to drop. I think I'm going to rely on the guy that we actually know, which is Charlie Thornton. We're going to take Charlie Thornton, a shortstop. He can play second base and third base. Looks really good technically and defensively, so I think we're going to take him, and we do. And now we skip to our next Royals pick, and it looks like Romeo Pineda is the only guy left on the board, and we might as well take him because he does look very good. It's just he's only 25% scouted. I don't know if those are true true ratings or not, but we do need a starting pitcher. It's always nice to have one. So we take him. We go into round 3. We don't have any more prospects scouted, but we might as well take a look at some of these guys, and we're going to have to take some flyers on some guys, which kind of sucks. But do we try to take another starting pitcher? There's no more closing pitchers available. The relief pitchers are probably more close to what their actual ratings are going to be, I would guess. But maybe we try to... The only problem is I don't know really where to go in terms of who is going to be actually as good as they say they are. Figueroa, he looks like a project at catcher. Damon DeVarco, Fletcher Blanton doesn't really have the power. Second base, Pedro Delgado. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I might as well not draft him. Johnny K, Mario Marquez. Nobody really has the amazing abilities that I'm looking for, and that's understandable because, one, we don't really know about these guys too much, and two, they probably aren't these true ratings. This guy, on the other hand, Jay Hooper, looks to be really, really fast. He can't really do anything else great. He looks like just a speed guy, which isn't always a bad thing. Julian Minoso, he's 18 years old, 6'4", 214. Doesn't really have the power, but I might take Julian Minoso. Let's draft him. He looks like he could be a big body. If he ends up being as good as what his numbers said, then that'll be a nice steal of a pick. Jesus Ortega, we don't need another outfielder. Who's this guy? Wayne Wilcox, also don't need another outfielder. If we go to, I can't. Oh, I'm in right field. I thought I was in just regular positions. No wonder I was getting only outfielders. Here is Figueroa again, 80 to 94, but I don't think that's true because we only have him scouted a little bit. I just don't think that's going to be as true as what it says. We are into round what? Round 4? I think this is round 4. So you've got, there's Fletcher Blanton again, but he just doesn't do anything that great. And he's a super low overall. Super low overall. Is that one fast left fielder? Is he still available? No, it looks like he's gone. I think his name was like Hopper or Hooper or something. It looks like he's gone. I don't even know where to go with this. I don't know where to go with this next pick. We could take Carlos Julio, who is a first baseman. There's Wayne Wilcox again. We looked at him. I think I'm going to go back and take Jonas Figueroa as a catcher. His potential looks pretty good, but I don't believe that's actually going to be what it is. But you never know. Maybe we'll get lucky. Carlos Julio, there's Wayne Wilcox again. We're starting to get into guys that are probably not going to be very good, mainly because they don't have them scouted that great. Murray Huff. I'm looking for people at this point that do one thing like really, really well, or at least they're projected to do one thing really, really well. So I really think now we're into the bullpen guys. I don't really want to take a bullpen arm. We already have a pitcher. Let's see. Can we get a combination of like somebody who's pretty good at power or contact or something and also has a good potential? I don't think we're going to be getting that anytime soon. I think we might have to go back to the top and just kind of see what happens. I mean, Carlos Julio could be the guy. He's 5'11", though, at first base. Is a little bit short. It's a little bit short for me. Wayne Wilcox. Let's just take Wayne. We'll take Wayne Wilcox with this pick. Draft him. He's also got 99 potential. It's probably not going to be 99 potential, but it doesn't hurt to take him. So I'm guessing those other guys are gone now, and it looks like they are. Jason Oka is still here. I'm going to take Jason. He's been sitting around here for a while. Nice little bullpen arm. He's probably not going to turn out to be anything, but he could be. And that is the end of the first-year player draft. I hope we got some good players. We can't see them how good they are right now, but I hope we got some good players. So now we simulate to all the good stuff. The Home Run Derby. Are we participating in? What field is this? Globe Life Field. Oh, it's the Rangers' new stadium. Are we participating in this? No, we are not. It's Bo Bichette, Aaron Judge, Christian Walker, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, Jose Ramirez, Pete Alonso, and Ronald Acuna. So we won't play in it because we don't have anybody on our team participating. And now here's the real deal. Are we going to be playing with what's-his-face or what's-his-face? So let's take a look. Quick counts on. All right, so here's the official roster. Do we have anybody that made it? No bullpen arm. That's okay. Did Salvador Perez starts at catcher? Let's go, baby. So we do have a starter at catcher, Salvador Perez. So we will player lock with Salvador Perez because it seems like that is the only player that we have on the team. That is beautiful. You love to see it. Absolutely awesome. So let's go and do that right now. Let's go player lock with Salvi Perez as our starting catcher. Look at that. You love to see it. Let's get it. I will see you guys in the game.
Love the All-Star festivities. Always a great show. We'll be back to get this thing started after this. Live from Arlington, Texas, MLB The Show brings you the MLB All-Star Game. It's the National League All-Stars taking on the American League All-Stars. Boog Sciambi alongside Chris Singleton. Singy, always special when we get together to call the All-Star Game.
Well, we've done a lot of these together, and sometimes you come in and think, ho-hum, another year. But once you look and you see these All-Star players, their uniforms on, them interacting with one another, you realize just how special it is. It's going to be a great one tonight.
First pitch coming your way next. Just about set to go now. And today's start.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Salvador Perez. 2-1 count. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Runners on first and second, staring at a fastball. I'm just glad that we have another participant in the All-Star game. I really didn't think we were gonna, especially not a starter. But it's nice to see a little bit of Royals representation as Perez sends that to left field, and it will not drop, unfortunately. That is the end of the inning. Okay, very upsetting, but it's all right because now we got ourselves a 2-2 ball game, bottom 4, and Merrick Minerick is on the mound. He's a tall boy. Very tall, lanky man in the shift, works to perfection against Salvador Perez. And Perez goes down again, unfortunately. That's all right. Ooh, we got a little bit of behind the plate action for Salvi. All right, let's throw a little two-seamer down here and see what happens. Oh, okay, he's throwing back. That's all right. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. We'll call a cutter, and we'll go down here and see if that works. All right, Gavin Lux at the plate. This is weird being down here. Oh, he's going to run. He's going to run. Ugh! He's too fast, too furious, and we didn't get him. All right, we still got to try to strike out Gavin Lux here. We'll go with a little circle change. At least we don't have the threat of Turner stealing. He's going to steal again. Can I get him a second time? Got him. Is he out? He's safe. Unbelievable. Trey Turner is the Flash. He is the absolute Flash. I can't handle the speed of Trey Turner. He's not going to steal home, is he? That's going to be a slider to Vladdy. Past Vladdy. RBI single. Gavin Lux. And the National League takes the lead back. That didn't go to plan. We're still behind the plate. This time it's Gavin Lux again. He's 3 for 3. And these are runners on first and third this time. That's going to be in the air, but that's only 1 out. It'll be 2 outs after this catch. Whoever's on third, even with 65 speed, is going to score very easily. Yeah, he came in pretty darn easy. It was Christian Yelich very easily coming into play. And the National League are up 8 to 2, excuse me. The deficit in that game, or in this game, made me choke. Ranger Suarez at the plate. Or at the mound, I should say. We're at the plate. Come on, Perez. You got to get 1 hit in the All-Star game. Don't disappoint me. Don't you dare disappoint your daddy. 1-2 count. Salvi stares at the circler. That's a ball. Let's take a little practice swing here. Come on, Salvi. Do your job. Do your job. Get a base hit. Maybe a little cheeky RBI. That's going to be another curveball. This time it is a ball. The count is full. Ranger Suarez, pitch number 19. And that's going to be a walk for Salvador Perez. So, hey, he gets on base in the All-Star game. That's pretty nice. And now the bases are loaded. 2 down for Randy Rosarena. Can he do some damage? Get us back in this ball game? I really hope so. Randy will ground it past the first baseman, and that'll be the inning. So Randy Rosarena does nothing. We're still hitting bottom 9, though. It looks like we didn't do any sort of damage in this game. It's still 9-2. But we are going up against Ryan Helsley this time. And Ryan will throw a 12-6, 81 miles per hour. That got me almost swinging. But it's called strike 2 anyway. Come on, Salvi. You got on base, but it was a walk. I want a base hit. Or maybe even a home run. That'd be awesome. I'd love a home run. I would absolutely flip out on a home run. Here we go. Salvador Perez. Not going to be a home run. 101 off the bat. And it goes right to the shortstop. And that is the ball game. The National League crushes the American League. 9-2. I guess we just weren't the better team. Trout had a home run in the game for us. But Mookie, and Christian Walker had home runs as well. I guess proving why they should have been in the home run derby in the first place. But all the all-star stuff is done, and today is the chance to sign draft picks. Please tell me they're good. Can I see if they're good? I don't know if I can see if they're good or not. Oh, that's right. I can't see if they're good or not just yet. But let's get all of our guys up here. So we have 35% interest on these guys. Very interesting. 74% interest on our number 1 pick, Greg Quintana. I will give him basically everything to get him to sign. And he has decided to sign with us. Greg Quintana, the 6th overall pick in the 2024 MLB draft, has signed on the dotted line with the Kansas City Royals. You love to see it, but I can't even sign the rest of these guys. Can't offer them yet. Is there anybody else that has a 50% interest? Okay, a couple guys do. Jonas Figueroa has a little bit of an interest in signing with us, and he declined his contract. Very interesting. I'm going to let that go, and we're going to finalize the 3-day plan, and we will continue simulating. Are we actually going to be getting some wins here? Today's the day to sign draft picks. Perfect. Any more interest? Nope, nothing there, but we can offer Jonas again. We might as well just offer him the bag, and he's decided to sign with us. So we got our catcher. And then I will go and offer Jason Oka, a contract, and we'll have to give him a decent amount of money as well, and he declined it. Jason Oka says no thank you to that, and we'll keep simulating. Another day to sign draft picks. We are actually starting to win a few games. Almost there on Charlie Thornton. Not yet. Let's just offer him the max, and he has declined again. Jason, really? I gave you the entire offer I could, the best offer I could give you. Blue Jays are interested in offering me a deal. Gabriel Martinez, 21-year-old, 67 overall, very interesting. Good contact, decent power, good defensively. For Edward Olivares, who is having an okay year, 254, having about the same year that he did last year, except for his home runs are a little bit down, and his RBIs are a little bit down. We do have Olivares locked up for 2 more years in arbitration. But Gabriel Martinez is an interesting one. Only 21 years old. How's he doing in AAA? He's hitting 289 in AAA, but he's been up in the big leagues. So his MLB service time has started. That kind of throws me off a little bit. I'm intrigued by that, but I'm going to decline it. I am intrigued by that, though. It's a very interesting offer. Let's get... Okay, so Charlie Thornton, we can now offer him a contract, and we are going to have to bump this up a little bit. Charlie Thornton has decided to sign with the Kansas City Royals. Charlie Thornton, welcome to the team. We can also offer Oka again, and I'll give him the biggest offer I can, I guess. Or I'll give him $395, and he's decided to sign with us. Jason Oka, is it worth it? I don't know, but we'll find out. And then Minoso and Wilcox, we cannot even close to sign those guys yet. But at least we've got the majority of our draft picks. Rockies have interested in a trade. Hermain Marquez for Walter. No, get out of here. I'm not trading away my first ever draft pick in the Royals franchise. No, thank you. Today is the day to sign draft picks. I don't even know if I can. No, nobody's got interest yet, or not enough interest. So we'll keep moving on. We keep winning games, though. Oh, hello. This is Andrew Heaney, 32 years old. Forget about it. I don't care who you're offering me. I'm not trading for a 32-year-old who's not even playing that well. Okay, we can finally offer Romeo Pineda, which is good. I will give him $1.75 million, and he accepted. Romeo Pineda, welcome to the squad. But these two guys not even anywhere close to being able to sign them, and we only have till August 1st, so we've got not a lot of time left to sign those guys. It's not my fault, though. They're just not interested. Today's the day to sign draft picks. This might be the last time to sign them, and I can't offer them. I don't know what to do. I can't offer them contracts. They're not anything special, but I just can't offer them contracts. They're just not interested. So now we move to trade deadline stuff. This is where things get spicy. The trade deadline has some interesting players on it. It does have some very interesting players on it. I don't know if I want anybody on here. I might make my own deals, because if we go to the budget, we have $42 million in available cap space. We're obviously keeping Salvador Perez around until he retires. But Jack Flaherty, 6-10 with a 3.99 ERA. Now, he has started to pull it together a little bit. He is on fire. I wish I could see his like month-by-month stuff. Actually, I guess I could just go by the calendar and see how many wins he's gotten. So we just lost this recent game against the Tigers. He actually won this one against the A's. He won against the Angels. And he won against the Tigers again. So he's only lost one game in the month of July, but that could be a good thing. We could use that in our favor, because maybe teams will think he's going to be good for the postseason or something as he starts to pull himself together. Teoscar Hernandez we're going to keep around because I like Teoscar Hernandez. Joe Jimenez, I think, has been doing good enough to stay. Luis Ariz obviously is good enough to stay. I love Luis Ariz. Hitting 324. I'd like to see that up a little bit, but I mean 324 is still pretty good. Adalberto Mondesi is a guy that I would like to move on from. I know I brought him back for the nostalgia purposes, for him being a former Royal, but he just has not been the guy. He never was really that great of a player. He had a few decent years where he's up to over 250, but he never has been that guy. Now he's 28 years old, and he's making a little bit of money, and I don't really think he's going to be here. So, and Amir Garrett's another guy. So we've got a few options here, not player search. We've got a few different trades that we can make work. The big one's obviously going to be Flaherty. Now, what is his value? If I go for like all, what kind of trade offers am I getting for Flaherty? So I'm getting some interesting players, nothing crazy. I think I might have to make my own trade if I want to trade away Jack Flaherty. Now I got to trade for somebody who's decently young, preferably not making a lot of money, and preferably somebody who is controllable, like a Shane McClanahan. I don't think Shane McClanahan is going to be available to trade yet. Look at that value. Look at that value that Shane has. He's not going to be able to trade, and he's under contract with arbitration for 3 more seasons, so he's not leaving Tampa unless we give them a crazy offer. Alek Manoah would also be fun to get. I did talk about how I wanted to get Alek Manoah in the Reds franchise, but I was never able to do it, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, not with Jack Flaherty at least. What else can we go for? We can go for maybe like, I don't know, who else is a good option here? Christian Javier is a little bit too expensive, and they don't even have the cap space to be able to do it, so they're off the table. But I wouldn't have been able to do it in the first place. George Kirby George Kirby could be interesting. He doesn't have like the amazing value that you'd think he would have. What about Logan Gilbert? Logan Gilbert's 9-7, but didn't we trade for him in the Reds series? I think we did. Spencer Strider obviously would be awesome. Max Fried could be cool, but he's 30. Sandy Alcantara, Trevor Rogers, Edward Cabrera, 5-9. He's kind of struggling this year. Luis Castillo, Zach Wheeler. I don't really know where to go. Hunter Green. We're going to stay away from Reds pitchers at least. I may go back and get Elly De La Cruz, though. Is he healthy now, actually? Where's Elly? Elly De La Cruz. Where's he at? The heck? Did he just disappear? Where'd Elly De La Cruz go? Hold on. Now I'm concerned. Where did good old Elly go? Elly De La Cruz. Did he get traded? Did they trade Elly De La Cruz? Hold on. Now I gotta search. Hold on. Hold your horses. He did. He got traded to Tampa Bay. Oh, that's wild. All right, well, I'm going to go figure out some trades, and I'll be back when I've got some figured out. Okay, so I'm back. I made some decisions on guys that I think I want to go after in the trade market. I have some potential trades that I think will work and will help this team in the future, maybe even in the short term, too. And right before I cut off to go make those, or to go do some research and look at those possible trade things, we found out that Elly De La Cruz got traded to the Rays from Cincinnati at some point after he got healthy from his ankle injury that he was had. That's why we were waiting on possibly trading for him, because he was injured, so we couldn't make that move. Now that he's healthy, he got moved to the Rays, and we are going to trade for him from Tampa Bay. So I hope that they didn't really trade a lot for him, because I want him bad. So we are going to be giving up Amir Garrett, who has just not been very good. He wasn't even that good last year. I just like Amir Garrett, so I kept him around. And he has not been that good this year. We are also going to give up center fielder Nick Lofton, who is never going to really pan out for us. He's a good utility guy, and maybe he'll be something for the Rays, but he's never going to be anything for us, especially with all this depth and talent in front of him. And then the guy that was going to make the deal go through is Mr. Samad Taylor, another guy who's a very good utility guy, but at 25 years old, see potential, and with Luis Ariz ahead of him, I just don't really see a future for Samad. Maybe down the line, I end up changing my mind and we trade for him back. I'm sure he wouldn't be that hard to trade for. But at least for right now, he's going to be the guy that gets the deal done for Elly De La Cruz. And I don't even know why they made this trade. They have a decent young third baseman in Curtis Mead. Plus, they have Wander Franco at shortstop. So I don't know why they would even think about making this trade, because Elly De La Cruz can't really play anywhere, and they have 2 really good second basemen. So I have no idea why they made this trade, but I'm going to take him off your hands. Thank you very much, Tampa Bay. And we now have Elly De La Cruz on the roster. Now, I will adjust his numbers. I will adjust his speed, I will adjust his arm strength, and I will adjust his hitting slightly. Just slightly. I'm not going to change it crazy, but I will make it more along the lines of what the real-life Elly De La Cruz character model has, his attributes has, in the most recent update for MLB The Show. So I'll make it more close to that, because obviously we started this way before that update came out. So that's the first trade that we're going to be making today. We are going to also be going after a certain former teammate of Elly De La Cruz, who is now hopefully going to be a current teammate of Elliot De La Cruz, Matt McLain, who I also am going to adjust his numbers. I'm going to adjust his speed. I'm going to adjust his contact and probably his fielding a little bit just to make him slightly better than what he is right now, because he's obviously better in real life than what the MLB The Show has for him. So this deal is going to see us giving up Alberto Mondesi. He's going to be out the door with his $6.5 million over 2 years. And then we are also going to be giving up Jimmy Govern, who is a 27-year-old D potential guy who literally has no future for us. He's going to be out the door to Cincinnati for Mr. Matt McLain. And now that shortstop depth looks fantastic. And you know what I might do? Elliot De La Cruz makes the team and starts at third base. I think that's probably the move that we do. We move out Nicky Lopez and we bring in Elly De La Cruz. Now, I know we had Elly De La Cruz in the Red Series last year, but I told you guys at the end of that series that when we started this one, there were a few players that were immune to me not going after. And that was Juan Soto, Elly De La Cruz, and a couple other people that I forget that I mentioned in one of those videos. But Elly De La Cruz can follow me wherever I go because I just love him so much. He's such a good player, such a young player. So Elly De La Cruz, welcome to Kansas City. And then there's another trade that I want to make that I actually did some research on, and that is for young starting pitcher Andrew Painter from the Phillies. He's a young, up-and-coming prospect. He's pretty cold, but he's only 20 years old. He's 6'7". And remember, we're not playing for the future of this season. Like, we're not playing for anything in the playoffs this year. So we are going to give the Phillies, who are probably needing another decent starter, we're going to give them Jack Flaherty, who has not impressed us too much this year, giving him that huge contract for $13 million. And then we are also going to give in a couple of first basemen, Dylan Schrum and Matt Beattie. These two guys, 30 years old, 25 years old, both deep potential. And we have Danny Dietz, who is already probably going to be better than them, and he's right below them. So we might as well free up some roster spots right there. Bada bing, bada boom. That's 3 huge trades done. And now the Phillies get their secondary pitcher who could help them in the playoffs. Maybe Jack Flaherty ends up turning out to be a very, very good pitcher for them in the postseason. You never really know. So now looking at the pitching rotation that we have, those are all 3 of the trades that I made while I was gone, or while I cut the video. So looking at it now, we have a 22-year-old A potential 92 overall Roki Sasaki. We have a 25-year-old A potential Ian Anderson. We have a 25-year-old A potential Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We have a 20-year-old A potential Andrew Painter. We have a 24-year-old A potential Gavin Williams. We have B potentials on Asa Lacy, Kumar Rocker, Dylan Lesko, and Jonathan Bolin, with Chris Bubich, Tink Hence, and Frank Mazzucato, and then Edward Guzman. I mean, the depth now in the pitching staff is unbelievably good. And they're all very cheap. Brady Singer and Ian Anderson, about the most expensive ones. So that means that in the offseason, we can go out and spend that money on other positions, or even a pitcher. Like, it doesn't have to be other positions. It could be a pitcher if we feel like it's the right time to strike. So those trades right there, I think, are going to really, really help us. And then the other trade, I don't think there's another trade that I really want to do at this stage of the season. I've gotten some other guys that I've wanted. The only other trade that I would think about getting is Kyle Harrison, but unfortunately he tore his rotator cuff at some point this season, so he's out for the season. And that was probably the only other guy that I would want this year. So since that's not a possibility, I think we're just going to let this ride with the trade deadline that we had. I think we brought in some really, really good young players that I'm going to adjust, obviously. I'm going to adjust Elly De La Cruz and Matt McLain to make them slightly better, not overly overpowered or anything like that, just slightly better. And then we will go from there with the roster as it is. Now, we do have to call up some people. We have Lorenzo Cain, obviously, in the big leagues. I don't really know what to do because we have Elly De La Cruz already called up. Matt McLain, I think, needs to stay down probably for this year. Maybe he gets called up a little bit later. Maybe we go to the bullpen and call somebody up, or a starter. We already have a lot of starters up here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 with Asa Lacy. But Andrew Painter's now, they want him to be up here. I think he'd be better off in AAA for the season. How many things does he have? He has all 3 of his options. Perfect. I think we're going to move him to AAA just to have him maybe potentially get off that cold streak he was on in the big leagues. So we'll see what he does there. AAA. Okay, so we have a very good AAA pitching staff. Even Jackson Cowher is in AAA as well. We have a very, very good pitching staff, but we need some bodies on the roster. We have 23 spots, and then when we get to September, we'll have 25 spots. Or we'll have 28 spots, excuse me. So we've got to figure out who gets called up, and that could mean some spots for some younger guys. Like Elijah Green could get called up earlier than we thought, or maybe even Lou Walls. I think Lou Walls might actually get called up a little bit earlier. So Lou Walls, add to the 40-man, and he's going to make his Major League debut. Other than that, I guess we could try to call up Zach Veen. That could be very interesting. That could be pretty darn interesting. But I don't really know where else to go. Because we're not going to call up any pitchers. I guess we could call up another bullpen arm. Maybe Ryan Weiss gets called up. Let's add him to the 40-man roster and call him up to the big leagues. So he will be pitching in the bullpen. And then everybody else, I don't think it's time for Walter to get called up just yet. I think he needs to be until September. I'm going to give him until September to get called up. That's probably when he does get called up. Michael Massey probably needs to get called up. We could do that. We could have this guy go to AA, Peyton Wilson. We could have Satchel Wilson go to AAA, and then Michael Massey comes up to the bigs. So that'll be everybody that gets called up right now, and then when September call-ups comes, maybe Elijah Green, maybe Walter Bike. There's a few different options we have here, but now the pitching rotation, we'll have Yamamoto step in, and we'll probably have Roki Sasaki show up back at the number 2 spot. Lacey will drop down to the final one, and that'll be how we have it here. We're going to have to figure out what we do with Brady Singer, though. I'm going to stick with him. I'm not going to move past him. And that is probably going to be our trade deadline for this second season. I think we did a very good job adding in Ellie De La Cruz, adding in what's-his-face, Andrew Painter, and Matt McClain. And we're going to have De La Cruz start at third base for the year. Nicky Lopez will come out. De La Cruz will go in. Bada bing, bada boom. And we'll probably have Ellie De La Cruz hit 4th. Most likely. We'll have Ellie De La Cruz hit 4th. Because then we can have Salvi. Salvi can hit like 6 or 7 probably. Let's have him hit 7. So he can hit 7. I like the way that is. I want De La Cruz to hit... I want him to hit up in 4 because he's got some nice pop to him. So that's how it's going to happen there. And with 15 games back, we might as well simulate into the month of August. They don't have a valid lineup. Garcia's still injured. And today is the deadline to sign draft picks. I'm going to try to sign him, but I can't because we don't have any interest. Oh, we can still sign him even though we don't have any interest? Okay, let me offer him this contract. He declined it. Wow. Minosa said no thank you. And then we'll offer him that. And so did Wilcox. We didn't get either of them. Wow. That's everybody. So we signed everybody but those 2. That's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. In the next episode, we'll probably find out how good those guys are. Let's see. Can I figure out how good they are? I don't know if I can or not. Signing deadline is August 1st. We might as well simulate past that to see what happens. Okay, so we lost that. View draft picks. Closer. Can I see him now? Okay, perfect. We can see him. To close out the episode, we can see how good we did. So Greg Quintana is an 89 potential guy. He's a B potential center fielder with pretty good speed. 18 years old. Already a 74 overall. He could make the big league club next year. Like in spring, he could make the big league roster. He's already got some pretty good talent. That's a very promising thing to have right there. Charlie Thornton ends up being a C potential shortstop who doesn't really have a secondary position, which kind of sucks, but he's decent defensively, really good contact, and he's got 78 potential. And then we've got Romeo Pineda, a B potential starting pitcher, who is already a 64. He's got 83 potential. Jonas Figueroa has a potential of 76 overall. He is a 44. We knew that he was going to be a project, but at 6'5" as a catcher is crazy. But he is going to take a long time to develop. Maybe he'll never develop. Like we don't know. He's a 44. So who knows how long it's going to take for him to develop. Same thing with Jason Oka. He is going to take a long time to develop. And with C potential, it's going to make him even harder for them to develop. So I don't think this was a bad draft class, but it certainly wasn't anything spectacular. Obviously, nobody with A potential. Is there anybody that we missed out on that could have been like phenomenal for us that we had a shot at drafting? It looks like everybody is a 89 overall. Murray Huff is a 94 potential 52 overall. He's going to take a while to get ready and develop, but it seems like the highest is a 93. Oh, Kirby Lawrence, the first overall pick was a 93. I wanted him. I really did. I wanted Kirby Lawrence, but he got taken number 1 overall. There was nothing I could do about that. Adrian Magana, probably had a shot at drafting Adrian Magana. He was probably taken in the 3rd round or something, maybe compensatory round pick, or maybe actually he might have been picked in the 2nd round because Billy Cannon could have been taken in the compensatory round. So we had probably a shot at taking Magana, but we didn't do it. PJ Dunning is a closing pitcher, so that doesn't really matter too much. Very good draft for the Cardinals. But is there anybody besides Kirby Lawrence that should have gotten a better look by me? It doesn't look like 89 seems to be the highest potential. Keith Dell actually is a 91. Okay. But it looks like we didn't miss out on too much. Yeah, it looks like we didn't miss out on too much. We knew Kirby Lawrence was going to be a stud. He just had that look about him. But it looks like everybody else, we didn't really miss out too much on. Now, we have some contract extensions that I'll figure out if I want to sign some players or not. Brady Singer will probably sign because I think that this is just a little bit of a fluke year, although back-to-back years he's kind of struggled. I don't know. We'll give him a contract. We'll see how he does. We have the money to do it. And then in the next episode, we've got the month of August. We'll probably play some sort of game here in the middle of the month, maybe against the Guardians at home. I don't know. Maybe we go on the road to Great American and play the Reds. That could be pretty fun. Elliot De La Cruz versus his former team. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but that's going to do it for the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Cup. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.